Welcome to this episode of Inside Tulsa Athletics. Our show today will have guest the baseball coach from Hale and the baseball coach from Memorial. We'll also have the head boys basketball coaches from Memorial, Edison, and Central, and the head girls basketball coach from Will Rogers. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with Alan Medlock, the head baseball coach of the Hale Rangers. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Alan Medlock, the head boys baseball coach at Hale High School. Alan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Tough time to be a baseball coach with the weather.
Oh, you know, spring baseball in Oklahoma, you're battling the weather first.
You know, this week we talk about snow on Friday.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Isn't that a great deal?
Oh, yeah, just our luck.
Talk a little bit about how you prepare. You know, I know you can start after the first of the year with your off season,
Yeah.
you know, greater than 1 hour and in the school day. But how do you do that, going indoors, outdoors, and so on, to get ready to play in March?
Well, the way that I approach it is you have to be very regimented on how you schedule these things, because you can get a lot of work done indoor, but you have to be pretty disciplined to do it because, you know, they're kids and it's 7th hour and, you know, they're ready to get out and stretch it out a little bit. And, you know, whether it's rain or cold, they would rather be outside. I mean, I have kids when it's 5 degrees, they would rather be outside. But no, you just have to have a pretty strict schedule of who's hitting, who's going to pitch, keep them on that, and try to stay as much with that schedule as possible, because if you veer off, it can get a little crazy in an underground hitting area.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
And really the repetitive nature of the things that you want to accomplish with your swing and
Perfect.
Ground balls and everything that you do is always better outside than it is.
Yo, absolutely. Well, and that was square one for me. Was we tried to get as many of our athletes out of football and wrestling and basketball as we could, just to start teaching them the game a little bit, just because, you know, it's just not as popular as it used to be.
Right.
So step by step, we wanted to kind of teach them the game, and that started with picking up a ground ball, putting a glove on, and all those things. To, you know, you graduate up to where you can work on hitting and pitching a little bit more inside. So it can be slightly beneficial, but, you know, I'm a baseball kid through and through, and I'd much rather be outside as well. So,
exactly.
But you just have to take advantage of it.
You talk about those numbers, and it's not as popular. One of the things I actually read this morning was that the demise of the recreational leagues with the younger kids, you know, the K through 6 kids who always had opportunities to play recreation, have gone away.
Sure.
You know, if you don't play travel ball, you don't play.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's hurt the game.
It's a disservice to baseball. That's what, I mean, I grew up in eastern Oklahoma. You know, I'm from Inola. You know, that's what we did in the summer. You play basketball, you play baseball, you play football. And some of the kids that you get even at the high school level, they don't know what hand the glove's on sometimes. And it does a disservice, because a lot of times it could just, these travel leagues can price out some of these kids that we're counting on to help us on an everyday basis. And, you know, it's kind of hurt the growth of the game.
I think it has all over. The same way for softball.
Yeah.
You know, but my son was a baseball player. My daughter was a softball player, and they came through the rec, and they all went to college and got their college paid for by playing, because they wanted to play at that next level. But we have kids now that don't even have that opportunity to even know whether or not they want to play. Yeah. Because the recreational leagues are not there anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very difficult.
That's too bad. Well, as you get ready to play your district games, who in your district you got to beat?
We have a tough one. We have Coweta, Claremore, and Collinsville, just off the top of my head. Then we travel to Grove, and then we have Edison here in town, and in Memorial here in town. But I mean, everybody knows what Coweta, Collinsville, and Claremore brings. They're baseball factories, and you know, I played Legion ball in Claremore, so I know what it's all about. So it'll be difficult for us, but it'll be a good opportunity for some of these kids to grow a little bit. And we have a fairly favorable schedule outside of the district, and we're just going to go out, let them have some fun, and let them learn the game little by little. So.
Claremore does have a good program. Has a great facility.
Yeah, absolutely. You go and play in Legion Field. It's nice.
I coached the American Legion one summer at McAllister.
Oh.
I was the head football coach, but they found out that I had been the head baseball coach at Cameron University. Yeah. And when they didn't have a summer Legion coach, me and my defensive coordinator coached the baseball for the summer. Yeah. And we played in Claremore. We also played at the big stadium in Bartlesville.
Oh,
downtown.
Yep.
So. I like I say, those days are over. American Legion is gone.
Oh yeah.
All those things, and it's just a shame for the
it's
sport.
Tough.
Well, as you get ready to hook up games this week,
we do. We have we rained out last night, of course. But we head to Coweta for a doubleheader today. Then we have we travel to Catoosa on Thursday, but we have a pretty good opportunity. We're going to play Rogers at One Oak Field Saturday afternoon. Excellent. So we're going to go out there and get some exposure and let the kids walk around the field and enjoy that. So
what a great experience to be able to play in facilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
we really lucked out on this one, and we're really looking forward to it.
Those are good times. I know that Mike Malega and the crew with the drillers are good friends and good supporters of high school athletics.
Absolutely.
They have always assisted us in those things. So, well, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
And I hope the weather sticks.
Yeah, hey, let's get past spring break, and maybe we've gone from rain or snow to rain, and maybe we'll have sunscreen on next. We don't
Hopefully.
know. Yeah.
Well, we had 80 degrees last week.
Exactly.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We'll have you back.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
And when we come back, we'll have Jamal James, the head baseball coach at Memorial High School.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right. Only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale's means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have the head baseball coach of the Memorial Chargers, Jamal James. Jamal, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Boy, Memorial baseball has had some ups and downs, but had more ups and downs over the years.
Yes, sir. They've had a rough last couple of years, so we're just trying to get the program back on track. We've had a good history of baseball, so we're trying to bring it back.
Excellent.
Compete.
I remember we played Memorial my senior year at Will Rogers. That would have been 1964. At that same field that you're at, and with the hill that went up, to the football field.
Everybody knows that hill.
Oh my goodness! But Memorial has had some prolific coaches. Tom McKenna did wonderful things there, and of course. So what's the outlook? I know it's really been tough. The weather has been up and down to get the kids in and outside, inside, outside. It's hard to get some continuity in your practice schedule. But how has your preseason gone?
Preseason has been up. We've getting more kids out there. We had about 5 seniors come back that's been there, and we're young. A lot of freshmen, sophomores, but they're willing to learn and they're willing to be a part of the program and see it and want to see it build. So we're looking pretty good. We're gonna have a good, decent season.
Do you think your pitching, your hitting, or your defense is going to be the strongest?
We're gonna be defensive. Defense for sure. Got to work on some of our other skills, but our defense wins games. So.
You bet. If you don't allow runs, I used to I coached college baseball for a while, and I said walks and errors will kill you.
Yeah.
If you let them get on base easily, they're gonna move up. It's gonna be tough. So this week we have forecast of snow at the end of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got games scheduled for this week and next? Now, next week is spring break, so.
Yeah. So now for spring break, we play Claremore today on a doubleheader.
Okay.
Yeah, we got rained out yesterday, so we couldn't play on our home field. But we have Claremore today on a doubleheader. It should be a good game.
You bet. That's a district game?
Yes.
That is, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
How do you feel about district games in baseball? Are they good or bad?
I think they're good. I get to see who's around and what they have and who they have to compete with. We know about the Claremore schools and the Collinsville. We like to go out there and compete with them, and we also get to play Hale or Rogers. Well, we added Rogers on there, but I think district games builds. It's a building game for the good players.
As an athletic director, as a former athletic director, I felt districts were important to solve who qualified for postseason play during the year to make every game important. We haven't gotten the basketball coaches to feel that way yet. The one downside I have seen to districts in all sports is it really does away with conferences, because you can't play a conference schedule and a district schedule because 9 times out of 10 they're not all the same people.
Yeah.
So that's a difficult thing from there. But so as you get ready to play, how many pitchers do you have? Do you have enough pitchers to go through a season?
We got about a good 4 pitchers, and so they're talented pitchers. Have a eye for the game, know the IQ for the game. So we have 4 good solid ones. The rest of them will be
a work in progress.
Yeah, work in progress. A work in progress. Like I said, we're young, so a lot of development.
Well, just being able to get on the field and play.
Oh yeah, that's the best part.
Repetitions are really, really important. Do you look at your pitching? A lot of people today, a starter's 5 innings, then you have your setup, and then you have your closer.
Yeah.
How do you approach that pitching?
We're gonna go your starter and your closer, pretty much. I don't want to injure anybody. If we don't
waste an arm for 2 innings.
I don't want to waste an arm. So we're trying to, with the numbers we heard, we're trying to play it smart. For sure. You gotta play it smart. So
how many games you play?
We've played. How many do we play? 16 games this year.
16 games.
16 games, yes, sir.
And you get ready for a regional tournament and postseason play.
Yes, sir. And we're all excited about it.
Well, that's good. That's great. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Well, hopefully, toward the end of the year, we can have you back again after you get the season kind of under your belt.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for being here. And when we come back, we'll have Eli Brown, who is the head boys basketball coach of the Booker T. Hornets.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Our next guest, Eli Brown, the head boys basketball coach at Booker T. Eli, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back. I love being on it.
Well, I'll tell you what a year, huh?
It's been an amazing year. We've had a really good and fun year, interesting year as well. I'm thrilled at how the year turned out, and now we're trying to do the unthinkable.
When you were struggling through that 2-10 last year,
Mm-hmm.
did you have any inkling that you would have this type of turnaround?
I knew we would be better simply because I was going to change the way we were playing this year. I got back to more of my style of coaching and my style of play. So I thought we'd be better, but I didn't think that we would be as good as we ended up being.
Heck of a record.
It is. I'm blessed. We're all blessed to be able to have that record, and now we just want to finish the job. We're excited.
I think that's probably the best turnaround in the state. To go from 2 wins to 23.
23, yeah, 23 wins. It's remarkable. We missed 6 games last year that we thought we could have won, which would have helped our record. It wouldn't have got us to 500, but we'd have been close.
Yeah.
And COVID just kind of kept shutting us down, open back up, shutting down. We did that, I think, 2 or 3 times last year.
Mm-hmm.
So the rhythm was off, and me being in a new place, new conference, and it was just a lot of different factors. But those are not excuses; those are just some of the things that kind of stood in the way, some obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't have those obstacles this year, and it kind of helped us. And then me being a second-year guy, and like I said before, changing some things up, it really helped.
Let me ask you this, because you've been able to experience both the Green Country and the Frontier Conference. Talk about the differences between those two.
I think generally the first thing is the size of the schools you play, night in and night out. So they have a lot more they can choose from, in Union and Jinx and Owasso, BA, so on and so forth. In the Green Country, those smaller schools and inner city schools, and so the style of play is different. The style of play in the Green Country was more fast-paced, more aggressive. I think in the Frontier, it was more, I call it the Big Ten, because it's such great coaching, and there's no knock on anybody in the Green Country.
Right.
Just such great coaching, big kids, size, and teams with good depth and length. And so you really have to do your homework and scout and watch a lot of film and really teach your kids how to defend all those actions that those coaches have. And I think those are the subtle but very meaningful differences between the two conferences.
No question. Every Tuesday and Friday is war.
You're not walking into a game where you say, we're going to beat them.
And we're going to win.
No.
We win this one.
You're going to have to earn it.
Well, and that prepares you, though, for postseason play.
Absolutely.
I think that I really believe that there's not a conference even on that side of the state that compares overall from top to bottom with the Frontier.
I'd have to agree with you. I think that the Frontier Conference is one of those conferences where you see it all. You see size, you see shooting, you see good coaching, you see speed, you see athleticism, and you see talent in 95% of the teams. And so it really does prepare you for having a playoff run. And I think the East this year, had PC West and Edmond Santa Fe not come over, would have sent 4 Green Country schools, Frontier schools, to state. So
I agree. I think that's correct. And they all have pretty good facilities.
Oh, they have amazing facilities. It's not a facility you go and you're like, oh man, I don't want to play tonight.
So, all right. So you get ready to go. You're playing, and your first opponent is who?
So we first round of state. We play Thursday against Norman North at 3:30, and Norman North has a couple of Division I kids who have been getting scholarship offers, and they're coached by Kelly McCoy, who was at Mount St. Mary's before, played at Weber State, and has been in the state tournament before, and so he's also with Team Griffin as a 17U coach, so he knows what he's doing. And they're going to be a really good test for us to see where we are in terms of guarding teams with really good talent. But the good thing for us, like you just stated, in the Frontier, we've seen teams with Division I kids on them: Bartlesville, Jinx, Union, Broken Arrow, Owasso. So we're not in an unfamiliar place.
I think that's a good thing from that standpoint, because there could be an intimidation factor had you not played that quality of student athlete. What about playing at Lloyd Noble? That'll be different.
That'll be extremely different for us. The closest we got to that was Union, what we played out there, and a little bit of Bartlesville as well. They kind of have an arena-style facility. But playing twice, we played 3 games at Union this year, so we've got a little bit of experience of playing in an arena. but not to that magnitude. So it'll be a good experience for our kids as well.
Well, I think you put them in those kinds of situations, and that's really a lifetime of memories for those kids.
Absolutely.
They'll play at the University of Oklahoma and
Absolutely.
so on. So everybody well, ready to go?
Everybody's well. Everybody's healthy. We want to, continue to pray that they continue to stay healthy and well throughout this run, and we'll see what happens.
Well, good luck Thursday night.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll have Bobby Allison, who will be going after the 5A gold ball, the Memorial basketball coach.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Bobby Allison, the head boys basketball coach of the Memorial Chargers. Bobby, postseason play, it seems like you're here every year.
Yeah, I know we've been fortunate over the years to get good draws and make enough plays. And it's great to be here. And we know our last practice of the year is Wednesday, so it's bittersweet. But I'd rather know when my last practice is than be shocked by it.
Exactly. Or not know when it goes.
Yeah, so, no doubt.
That's the key. Well, you went through your regional and area pretty much unscathed.
Right. No, we came out of the gates running against East Central. Played that game like it was 0-0 the entire time. We didn't even look at the scoreboard. And next thing you know, we put 100 on the board. And then McAllister the next night, we thought maybe they'd slow it down on us. But I guess they said first to 100 wins because they tried to play faster than us, and we made enough stops and great team basketball and put another big number on the board. And all of this was in 1 week. That's Monday and Wednesday, and then turn around Friday and played Edison, and they were ready to go. Edison really came at us. They fought. They played the whole 32 minutes, and we needed it. I mean, after that McAllister game, I was real worried. 120 to 80, and you think everything's perfect. I was like, it is not going to be this easy anymore. I was like, they better be ready to handle adversity, and Edison gave us that. That team played the entire 32 minutes against us, tough as can be, and we made enough plays to separate there in the third quarter. But hopefully we can learn from what Edison exposed, and that's a positive if the kids are honest with themselves and get ready for state.
Sure. As you get ready to go to the state tournament, your first opponent is Midwest City. Now, Midwest City's interesting.
Yeah.
Midwest City actually has 6A enrollment right now. But because of the time that they put the 5A, 6A differences in there, they were a 5A enrollment. So how do you look at Midwest City?
These are still aftershocks of the pandemic, I guess, with enrollment. And Midwest City is one of the best 10 basketball schools in the state over the last 25 years. Great tradition. Their talent-wise, they're equal to us. They beat the #1 team in 6A West, Edmond Memorial. They've also beat Putnam City West twice. So it's not an ordinary 4 seed. It's as tough a draw as we've gotten in the first round, but I'm glad I got maybe one of the best teams I've ever had to meet that challenge. These kids last year had a heartbreaker to Ardmore in the first round. And when we went into that Ardmore game, we were always saying we're 3 games away. And we've changed that. That's not us anymore. We're 1 game away. And 1 is the only number. This game coming up, they got our full attention. I knew when Midwest City and Dale City both dropped, when the enrollment thing happened, I was like, well, if we get to state, it's going to be a whole lot. There's no gimmies. You knew you were going to have to go through both of them. And so, with that being said, we've watched film. We got a good scout on them, and we're ready for that ball to get going 3:30 on Thursday, but it's going to be, we know that it's going to be a 32-minute game.
How do you like playing over on the west side of the state?
Well, I haven't thought about it that much because there's nothing I can do about it,
Right.
but it is different. It is different. The second we won that game against Edison, getting the logistics together to travel, Mick Wilson's been great to us, getting us vans lined up. So we got our transportation, our hotels taken care of. Now it's just the kids. We got to get down there and get organized and make sure all our ducks in a row, because I had a kid one year, when we were playing at home, we get to the arena for a 10:30 game. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and taps me on the shoulder. I left my shoes at the gym. So we need to make sure when we leave for Norman, we got all of our shoes, we got all of our jerseys, our med bag, and all those things that people don't even think of. They think about the game, but so we got to get all that in line, our meals, our sleep, just handling that stuff. Just let's go make Norman home, hopefully for 3 more days.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can do that and fight through any tough moments that come our way, we'll do everything we can control.
So you'll be playing at Noble?
Noble, the first round.
Have you been in that facility?
I might have scouted a game there before. I know I've seen it online, and it's kind of got the same backdrop and makings, a little bit of the arenas we've had, where maybe that can be beneficial. That it's not wide open in the first round like Lloyd Noble would be.
Right.
So, and thinking like that, it's a high school gym, so it's not going to have double lines on there where the kids are going to think the 3-point line is. So those are positives when you got an offensive juggernaut like we have. But man, we played Midwest City and Guyman if we could, like whatever it takes.
Sure,
we'll go.
Sure.
We'll go anywhere to play this game, and we'll be excited and ready to make it
Can't
happen.
worry about location. You need to worry about opponent.
Yep,
And
that's
the
exactly
key,
right.
And it's postseason play. When you get to this point, is lose or leave town.
Yeah.
You're done when you if you don't play well. And I know your kids will be ready to play and be prepared very well.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Well, Bobby, good luck.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
being
it.
here
No
today.
problem.
And
I hope to be back.
Maybe the 22nd with a gold ball.
No, that'd be a good day.
All right. When we come back, we'll have Raymond Ships, who's the director of athletics at Edison Prep.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against a tough competitor, plastic.
Don't trust those numbers on the bottom. You have to stick to what you know. Only bottles and jugs found in the kitchen, bath, or laundry. They're quick to pick up. And empty those bottles before sinking that shot.
Always empty your bottles before recycling. Score big by recycling your plastic bottles and jugs. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Today we have Raymond Ships, the director of athletics from Edison Prep High School. And Raymond, you have a guest. Introduce your guest.
Yes, I have Luke Parish, our starting point guard and starting football coach for Edison.
Well, I'll tell you what, you 2 seasons back to back is tough, isn't it, Luke?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like football.
And you had an injury, didn't you? That,
Yeah.
Kind of sidelined you a little bit.
Yes, sir. I had to have surgery on my right lung.
How's that going?
It's healing up pretty well right now. I'm still waiting on my rib to be done healing, but
I see.
Everything's coming. It's on the up and up.
Ribs are tough to
yeah.
heal. They have to. It's kind of like that hamstring I was telling you about a few minutes ago. Well, Raymond, as the director of athletics, Edison had a pretty good run with boys basketball this year.
Yes, and to accomplish what we accomplished with all the injuries we had, I think we had a really successful season, Gil.
Talk about just kind of recap the season, and then we'll talk about postseason play.
Okay, well, we finished up 14-10 for the year, but as the season went, we won a lot of games, but we hit that spell when Luke went down, and it caused us to readjust. we also played through a lot of injuries. We also had one of our kids was playing with a floating bone in his ankle, which he played through and he'll probably be having surgery on next week. So it's been a really tough year injury-wise for us. But overall, it was a very successful year for our program.
You know, I follow the scores and everything, and I thought you were right there. I mean, you were a game away, to go back to the state tournament.
Big accomplishment with a young group. We're like Rogers. We only have 2 seniors we're losing, so we're bringing back a lot of young kids that got a lot of experience, which will help them going into next season.
I think Green Country is going to be really tough.
Really tough. And I think it's tough every year.
It is, but I think there's a lot of young players that contributed this year.
Yes, sir.
And the same thing on the girls' side.
Correct.
There are a lot of young girls teams this year.
We only lost 2 seniors with our girls, so all of them will be back.
Well, look, talk about the transition. You go from football to basketball. How does that work?
Well, it's kind of tough to begin with because football shape and basketball shape is kind of 2 different things. In football, you take a good 15, 20-second break in between every play, and then basketball, it's boom, 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 fast pace. So I definitely have to do a lot of conditioning to get back into basketball shape.
Now, this is the hard question.
What's the hard question?
How's it playing for your dad?
Oh, we have our ups and downs, but overall, it's a blessing. I mean, having him with me at school every day, I like seeing him there.
Yeah.
It's better than not having a parent at the school, I guess.
I coached my young son, who Raymond knows very well, in Little League Baseball all the way through. And the elementary school where we practiced every day was about 6 blocks away. And probably about once a week, we practiced twice a week, but once a week, he had to walk home. I wasn't going to take him back home. So that father-son thing is it's a little different, isn't it? It is. As you get ready to go into off season now, will you go to football off season or basketball off season?
Well, I'm going to do football off season, but I'm also playing golf. And I run track, but I'm not running track this year just because of the injury with the lung.
Mm-hmm. So what are you shooting golf?
Low 90s, high 80s.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Good. That's good. That's good to play. Raymond, as the director of athletics, how do you look at Edison Prep overall of the athletic program?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Gil. We finished the year. We had a really good year with our winter sports. Our swim team went to state. We had 2 wrestlers go to state and finish 4th. So overall, even the basketball, we had a really good year with our winter sports. So I'm really proud of our kids, our student athletes. I mean, it really represented the district and our school really well this year.
I was real impressed with the swim group. It's difficult at best to go to Memorial for practice every day and have a co-joined coach between Memorial and Edison. And to qualify as many student athletes as you qualified, I was really impressed with that number.
Yes, that's a testament to the Coach Bentley. She did a really good job with those kids, and she does a really good job, and she cares, and that's the main part about this thing, is caring about our students. And if they see that you care, they're going to walk through a wall for you.
I think you're right. I think she really does care about the swim program.
Yes.
And, well, Luke, you're going to will you play summer league basketball?
I plan on it, but we'll take it
see
step by step.
Yeah.
Not
And then,
trying to look too
of course,
far
you'll have some 7-on-7 in there.
Yeah, have some 7-on-7.
And a couple
football,
rounds of
spring
golf.
ball. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a few rounds of golf.
You're going to be busy.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're here today. And anything, Raymond, that we need to know about Edison that you haven't told us already?
Well, look for good things from our track program and baseball moving in. Our baseball program is making leaps and bounds, looking for good things from them. And of course, track. So I think we'll be great going into spring sports, tennis. So
how's your soccer?
Soccer, I'm glad you talked about them, Gil, because I sure left them out and they'll be mad at me. Soccer's looking forward to going back to state.
Good.
Yes, so got a lot of kids returning, good coaching staff, both girls and boys. Finished well in our tournament last week, so everything went well. So we're going to have fun.
Had the green and white tournament again?
Yes, sir, last week.
That's good.
Good weather
In
for
spite
it.
of the weather.
No, last day was kind of shaky, but for the most part, really good weather for it this year.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, look, Raymond, glad you're here today, and hopefully we'll have you back sometime.
Thanks for having us.
When we come back, we'll have Aaron Daniels, who's the head boys basketball coach at Central.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right. Only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLean, the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And now we have Aaron Daniels, who's the head boys basketball coach of the Central Braves. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Well, you had a little bit of run in the playoffs. We'll recap the season and tell me what you think about your year this year.
Well, the bottom line, the whole deal, we sort of set small time, short-term goals in the beginning of this whole deal because last season we were 4-17, and we thought, based on what we brought back and what we added to it, that wouldn't be a hard, record to overturn. So goal number one was let's get 5 wins. And once we conquered 5 wins, it was like, okay, well, let's see if we can get a double-digit amount of wins. So 10 is the next goal. And then after that, it became let's win more than we lose. And once we got toward the latter part of the regular season, around about senior night, we're like, okay, now let's see if we can get to that state tournament. And long story short, we ended up 19-9 on the season. We let's see if I can recap this accurately. The first opponent in the district championship was Bristow, and we won that game by a large margin. And then we played Berry Hill in the first round of the regional tournament at Cleveland, and we won that one by a large margin.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got our hat brought to us by a large margin once we went to Enid and played Weatherford.
Yeah.
And in 4A, that makes for a rough road. Now you got to win 3 in a row in order to advance to the state tournament. So we beat Bethany, a good Bethany team, and that was on a Thursday. The very next day, we had to play a young, up-and-coming but good right now Douglas team, and they gave us all we wanted, and they beat us. That was the end of the road.
Right there. Well, what a lot of people don't realize or understand, though, Aaron, is you're coming off a 4-win season, and you turn it to 19.
Right.
People don't understand the patience that you have to be able to reach each one of those level goals that you set through the year because you're dealing with young kids who have so many other things on their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Other than just basketball.
No doubt.
Talk about how that transition works in your coaching philosophy to go from really a dismal season to really a really good season.
Right. Well, the conceptually it was simple, but putting it into practice was something totally different. So I'm a guy that feels like, okay, we got to get in the lab and we've got to work. So as soon as last season ended, which was we barely made it into March, we gave them maybe 2 weeks off, which is similar to what we'll do this time around. And after spring break, we got in the gym day after day after day. And our core group, which was 4 of our 6 seniors, that's who I considered to be our core at that time, they were basketball only kids. So I knew that they weren't going anywhere. They were going to be in the gym every day. And so we worked out every single day, and we got them hooked up with summer basketball teams so they could go and travel and put their games on display and get exposure. And that coupled with the experiences that they went through, what a difference a year makes. And then some of the guys that were coming from other sports that started with us last year but for whatever reason didn't finish, they came back around this particular year with a little more intent, a little more commitment, and those worlds merged, and we ended up being better. But it still was a day-to-day thing because they are teenagers, like you said, and sometimes they can have their minds elsewhere whenever we need their supreme focus. They could be all over the place.
Well, and to be able to stay the course and literally be 1 game away, from going to the state tournament again, that'd be fantastic. So talk about some of the players that will be graduating. Do they have post-secondary opportunities for them?
You know what? Fortunately for us, I'll speak in a candid way. 5 out of 6 of them, I think, can go and play ball if they want to. And I'm talking about Kalen Brown. Let me add all 3 names. And he led us in scoring this year. And he's been a 4-year varsity player, 4-year varsity starter. He was playing even before I got the job last season. And he averaged north of 20 points a game this year, and was the guy when we needed a play to be made or a bucket to be gotten, we went to him. And so, you know, he loves this game like no other, so he's going to find some place to go and continue his athletic career as well as his academic career. We got Taeyeon Cox, who is a 2-sport athlete, really 3. He's getting ready to go to track.
Yeah. We've had him on the show.
There you go.
He's talented.
Very talented, very talented. I think his bread is buttered in football in terms of where he wants to take his talents to the next level. But he's gifted in all 3 in such a way that he could go and pursue either one of those 3. We've got Kalen Williams, who was a transplant. He came over to us last year from Owasso, and last year was year 1 for him as far as varsity is concerned. One of our best, all-around athletes in the program. He's a lefty, so naturally a tough cover, and he's expressed interest in wanting to go and play ball at the college level. It can happen. We've got Trayvion Stewart, who was who was our primary ball handler these last 2 seasons. He was a transplant who moved back home to Tulsa from Chicago last year as a junior, and his game has grown exponentially. If I had to pick a player who has shown the most improvement from one year to the next, it'll probably be him. And he said he wants to go and play, so we're going to do what we can to make that happen. And then we got the big fella, Edmondson, who's 6'5", about 240, 250, depending on the week, you know what I mean? But he's got a real unique skill set. Soft hands, good feet, can finish with either hand. He's got a nice touch to shoot it from the outside. He wants to play, so we're going to help him do that.
Well, good. It's always great when those kids can continue on and keep their education going, and get the college to pay for it. That's always good. Well, hey, thank you for being here. Congratulations on a good season. 19-9 is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
And we'll look forward to seeing you next year.
Thanks for having me.
And when we come back, we'll have Carlin Adkism, who is the head girls basketball coach at Will Rogers.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Carlin Adkism, the head girls basketball coach of the Will Rogers Ropers. Boy, as we said earlier when we talked preseason, did you think we'd be talking about playing in the state tournament?
You know, I always knew this group had a chance if they just bought in to what we were, trying to get over to them at the beginning. But I will be lying to you if I thought, 100%, but no, I didn't at first. And then as the year went on, and, you can see that the group can be special once they just put it all together. And that's kind of why we're here. They're starting to understand how to play together. They're starting to be sisters. They're starting to, just buy into and just love the game of basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you had a good run. Had one bump where everything went wrong. But to be able to come back from that and go to the state tournament, it speaks to the character of your team and I think the quality of your coaching. I don't think there's any question about that. As you get through and get ready for the state tournament, how do you feel about your first opponent?
It's a tough matchup. You get this far, everyone's good. Everybody's played at a high level at in the state tournament. But I do believe in our chances. I believe that that they got some perimeter shooting that we have to worry about, but at the same time they got to worry about us too as well. So I think it's a good matchup for us, and I'm looking forward to it.
You'll be playing
Carl Albert.
At Carl Albert. Yeah, Carl Albert. You'll be playing at
Norman North.
Norman North. Yes. Have you been in that facility?
No, I have not. I have not. But I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get down there and get kind of used to the gym and get a good walk around and get some shots up and get ready.
Different for us East Siders, isn't it?
Yeah. It is a lot different.
It's been forever at the Mabry Center and around the area schools, but things change and we have to go with that change. But just glad to be where we are.
Definitely.
At the end. We had Coach Allison on earlier, and he said that if he needed to play Midwest City and Guyman, he'd go to 9.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Well, talk about some of your players.
Oh, okay. Just start off with Reagan McQuarters. She's been leading the way with scoring this year, around 15 points per game. She leads the state right now with steals. I'm not sure if she's still at 6 points now that the playoffs have started, but I'm sure she's around 5 now. But like I said, she's been having a terrific year, and she's just speedy. She's probably the quickest guard I've ever coached, and she gets out of it on defense, and it's really hard for offenses to get into their
What's
sets.
her classification?
She's a junior.
Yeah.
Next, Juliana Matlock. She's one of the hardest working girls I ever coached. She's always in the gym. She puts up shots before and after practice, and she leads by example. And next is probably Nellie Simmons, our big girl. She's 6 foot and she's very physical inside. But lately, we have a freshman, Samaya Morrison, who's been getting a lot of attention from the media and the people, the fans. She's a freshman and she doesn't play like it. She actually she gets us in the right rhythm in the game. She puts us in our positions, and she's just a good leader on the floor.
She has a famous brother, doesn't she?
She does. Her brother was actually he signed to go to Nebraska, but he's now at Kansas. Now he's a Kansas Jayhawk now. Yeah. So yes, she does. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a tremendous athlete. I remember watching him play for Edison.
Yeah.
Well, as you look at, do you have any seniors?
Yes, I do have 2 seniors. I have Journey Candler and Taylor Perkins. They are 2 seniors on the team. Yeah.
They gonna be able to play next year?
Well, I hope so. I hope somebody will take a chance and look at them. Yes.
It's good. Have you placed a lot of girls in the post-secondary play?
Yes, over the years we have had a few. A lot of them are still playing. Quinay Love is actually in the NIA state tournament. National tournament. Quinay Love, she's in Texas Wesleyan right now. We have 3 at Coffeyville in Kansas. So we have quite a few that's been kind of getting into college and staying there and playing basketball.
We've had some kids go to Coffeyville, haven't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I coached in Coffeyville for a while. I was the head football coach at the high school there. It's a good place to go. Yeah. So what do you look forward to? Carl Albert, you said can shoot outside. How do you stop that?
Well, we just got to stay attached to the shooters. Make sure they don't get any good looks. We really kind of been focusing on, how we're going to push the ball and rotate out to these shooters. You got to think they run 5 wide, so they have all 5 guards. So our bigs are not used to actually getting out there and playing on the perimeter. So we kind of trying to get them acclimated to, understanding where they need to run. You don't run to the block anymore. You're running to the 3-point line now, basically, and trying to stop the ball, trying to stop them shots. So. But that's what practice is for. So we're getting ready for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I hope on the 22nd when we come back, we've got a gold ball.
I hope the same.
Congratulations on a good year.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll have Mick Wilson, the Executive Director of Athletics for Tulsa Public Schools.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale's means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. We finish off our show today with the Executive Director of Athletics, Mick Wilson. Mick, boy, I tell you, this transitional time where we have the winter sports ending and the spring sports full-blown makes it hectic in your office.
Gil, it's been crazy, and of course you're trying to work around a spring break and work around a winter break that we had with some downtime. So, just everything at once is a little crazy, but it's a lot of fun too.
Well, it looked like the postseason play for a while was really, really good for our teams. We ended up with 3 going to the state tournament. So let's recap that a little bit. You were at a lot of the games. So what really impressed you? What team do you think has the best chance?
Well, Gil, first of all, I really will say that I've been impressed by the improvement in the constant stick-to-itiveness, I guess if you would call it, of the Rogers girls. They've really played well with a lot of young players. They're young. Carlin obviously has had a lot of success here recently at Rogers High School, but their girls have gotten better throughout the year. I've really watched them, and to be able to get into the state tournament, I think is a real testament not only to the job that he's done coaching them, him and Coach Morrow both, but the girls' willingness to listen and to get better. I would never have guessed that they would make the state tournament, and that's no slight to them. They were just awful young. He's starting 2 freshmen, I think 2 sophomores, and then maybe a junior. So I would have never guessed that where they're at right now. And they've really played hard. They really played well. Beat Noble 30, had them down 30 at one point in the win and end game. So I think they've done a really good job. I'm excited to see the young McQuarters girl is playing really well for them. Trayvion Morrison's younger sister is one of the guards, and she's played real well. So I think they'll do well on Thursday, but I really think they're going to do well in the future if this group stays together and continues to get better. And I think the sky's the limit for the Rogers girls.
I know that when we had Carlin on earlier in the year, preseason, and he was concerned about depth and their age because they were young, but they certainly have improved. I've been really impressed with their scores. And
well, we kind of made a joke about them, Gil, as they're young and they play hard. They kind of play ugly. They don't. They make the game really ugly, but they're physical and they're tough. And they get loose balls and they rebound, and it's they're just coming up with plays. They make plays and make things happen. Whether it's going to be good or bad, they're going to make something happen. I promise.
And then, of course, with Booker T and Memorial, between them we have 2 losses.
They do, and I tell you, Gil, I know when you and I were instrumental in kind of moving Booker T away from the Green Country Conference because we saw kind of what we thought was going to happen in the future and getting Booker T Washington in the Frontier Valley. This would be the one year I wish that we could have a game, an inter-district game, and play these 2 people against each other. I know it would be a packed house, but what can we say? When you got the number 1 team in 5A and the number 1 team in 6A,
exactly.
Both well coached, the teams play hard. I'm just proud of both teams, and to be legitimate contenders and both earn the top seed in their respective tournament is a real testament to those guys in the program, and they've both done a great job this year coaching, and of course are going to be have been on today and talked about their teams. So excited to see where it falls here in the next few days, and hopefully we can come out with a state championship much like we did in 2018 when we won 6A boys and won 5A boys. We're hoping we can repeat that and do that again.
Yeah, we've had some great marches, I think, over the years. One of the ones that I always remember is when McLean and Central played for the 4A state championship, and I rode down with Dr. Ballard. I said, Keith, the best thing about today is we're coming back with 2 balls, 1 silver and 1 gold. And it really doesn't make any difference because we won both of them. So.
Sure, Gil. We've had a great run of a lot of state championships. I think if we're able to get a couple more this year, that'll put us in basketball. I think at right around 14.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that through our tenure together and then to move forward with this, it's just it's amazing. Our basketball has stayed strong, and we've got such great support in the community and such good coaches, and our administration at all the schools really jump in behind it, and so we want to continue to make that better. But what can we say about Memorial and Booker T basketball-wise than their great tradition?
Well, it's a testament to, I think, to the level of coaching that we have because of the pandemic. That is not an ordinary time to keep your kids engaged and keep moving forward with everything. And so as we go to the endemic now, they tell me, it's kind of a relief, but to be able to keep the program that strong through that time, my gosh, in 2020, they called the state tournament off.
Correct.
I was telling my wife this morning, I said, I remember Mick and I sitting at the table getting ready to go to Skytube for the game, and I get a call from Mike Whaley that we're not having games.
No, I remember that well. And not to go on too much about those, Gil, but even across the district, I think our basketball is continuing to grow and get better. I know, Hale boys are going to be a force the next couple of years, playing with all sophomores and be able to do what they've done. But just throughout the district, Central boys, McLean boys, and our girls teams are getting better. The Memorial girls this year probably played really well throughout the year and just had a bad time in the playoff to have a bad game. That can happen to anyone. So looking forward to what our basketball not only can do this year, but really in the next few years.
Well, we'll be glad in 2 weeks to come back and talk about maybe all the state championships.
It'll be great
this year. Thanks for being here, Mick.
Thanks, Gil.
And we'll be back after these words.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Today's episode, we heard from the two head baseball coaches at Memorial and Hale, and their season opens this week. We also received an update from our head coaches on our basketball teams who advanced to the OSSA playoffs. We sponsor 9 sports in the spring, and we provide as many opportunities for our student athletes as we can to participate. As a reminder, the induction banquet for the 10th annual class of the TPS Athletics Hall of Fame will be June 2nd. And the golf tournament, the Legends Golf Tournament, will be held on June 3rd at La Fortune. Make plans to support athletics and call the office and talk to Lisa, who will sign you up for both. We'll see you in 2 weeks.